You're drinking your little drink. Is that water?
It's water.
Why are you drinking out of that cup?
Because we have like 12 water bottles, so sue me if I like to diversify.
Welcome back to another episode of Boys Love Stay With Me. Boys Love, colon, Stay With Me. The show where we recap 2023's remake of a classic, Stay With Me. The Chinese drama. You know, there is something that happens in episode 6 that may be one of the gayest things I've ever seen on screen.
I don't even feel comfortable doing that with you.
Oh, no. Maybe in our youth, when we went to like Mackinac and we rode around the whole island and you were so mad at me.
I was so mad at you because...
I was like, it's such a small island. And then it was like 30 minutes later and we were just on the other side of the island.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe somewhere in our youth or childhood.
Oh, childhood.
I must have done something good.
Do we want to give lore to the girlies?
Our bicycle lore?
No, the lore of the song Something Good for Us.
Yes, we should. And I think you should say it, Adam. Tell the girls about our shared lore with that song.
It played at our wedding.
Yeah.
Which part though? Was it what they processed in on?
It was
the family.
No.
Was it the family?
It was the family.
The family. We came in on carousel.
Okay, we came in carousel. Sorry.
Sorry. It's really pretty.
With the party. The party was the carousel.
Right.
I think we had a song.
We were then Something Good. If the party was carousel, it changed for us. We were Something Good.
I think we were Something Good. And then I think for our family, it was, I think it was King and I. I think I picked King and I.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
I think it was I think for my mom, I picked Something Wonderful. Or Something Wonderful. He'll always need your love. And so he'll get your love. But I think you picked something for your mom. Maybe Something Good was for your mom.
I don't think we had two separate songs for the mothers. I think it was one song.
Maybe.
I don't think we did 4 songs for people to walk in on. I think we did 3.
So maybe we did, okay, King and I was for the moms, and then Carousel, and then Something Good for us. And then...
It was a real Rodgers and Hammerstein entrance.
But don't worry, because for every high, we did a low, and we walked out...
To the Muppets
theme song. And it was a sax trio.
Did you cry more or did I cry more? Who do you think cried more?
Oh,
I think you cried more.
I cried more in the...
Not because of me.
And not because of you. Actually, no. I think our friend Ari cried the most.
Ari cried the most. Ari cried the whole time. The whole wedding. What were our colors, RJ?
Blush and navy.
Blue and pink.
Our colors are blush and navy.
My colors are blush and bashful.
Your colors are pink and pink.
Name that movie.
Has this been gay enough for you girlies?
Still less gay than the bicycle. Okay, so we watched episodes 5 and 6 of Stay With Me this week. And we have some thoughts. We have some takes. Let's do a little recap. So we'll start with episode 5. So episode 5, there's dumplings that were left on his desk.
And he was like, I know these dumplings. Okay.
I've seen these dumplings.
These dumplings. You stopped at Wow Bao for me?
No one, not a soul. Not a soul knows what you're talking about. I don't even think they're open anymore. He didn't go to Wow Bao. He went to Mrs. Zhao's and picked up some dumplings. So they're being very sweet.
Because obviously, so you brought those to him, but then Wooby is like, so you got me these dumplings. And he's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
She gave them to you. I just brought it to you.
Yeah. I don't even remember what your name is. I don't know you. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. I love you.
I'm
eating it up.
This is how you know it's a Chinese show, or like honestly, generally East Asian show. The smart kid is also like you want to be friends with the smart kid, which is not how America works.
Yeah,
as you can tell by our representative government. The cool kids are dumb. Okay, that's the point of America. Yeah. That's freedom. That's democracy. Yeah. So this girl named Zhang Xiong,
yes,
like writes a letter and is like, so I want to read this really beautiful poem I wrote for you, and he's like, I'm not interested.
And
Thank
she
you
was
so
like,
much.
Is it because of another girl? And he like doesn't answer.
Is it because of I didn't write her name down. I should have written her name down. Is it because of what's her name?
Yeah.
Who left?
Yes.
She's gone.
Yes.
And so he's like, and then they do this shot where he's like, no. So that's how they get to be like, that's how they get to be like, see, Chinese censors, like he's clearly straight. He's like obviously in love with the girl who left.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, bisexual people are still like, we're being erased in real time. He is heartbroken.
Because, quotes in big quotes, because Miss Girl,
who was like number two, the top girl.
Yeah, top girl.
Head boy, head girl.
Head boy, head girl. Mm-hmm. She leaves to like study abroad in Paris.
Was it? It's somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it's Paris. Yeah.
And basically, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, they were like inseparable," and then she left, and he's been like sad.
Would it be worse if you were? Please, if you're
exchange.
Please, if you're French, do not hate me for what I'm about to say. Would it be worse or better if you were like, if your family was like, we're moving out of the country, we're moving to Europe, and then you find out they're moving to France, and so you're like, oh my god, I'm moving to Paris, and then you move to like Lyon. Would you be like, I mean, I
am in France.
I guess I'm here. I'm eating the bread.
Yeah, bitch, I would love to live anywhere in France. Are you fucking kidding me? I was this close.
Oh, it was real bad.
Not leaving, to not taking that little tiny car that like the driver was on both sides. I did not want to leave Mont Saint Michel.
Mont Saint Michel.
Genuinely. Yeah. I was like, well, I'm going to be a monk. And
but that's because you got weirdly horny about the monks. The young brothers.
Don't watch Fleabag season 2 before you go to a honeymoon in France.
Oh my god, you had just finished on the plane, hadn't you?
I had just finished Fleabag season 2.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I forgot. I did not.
Anytime I saw a man of the cloth.
A tailor.
So anyway, so Suyu is heartbroken, and that's kind of like his little gig for this episode.
That's his gig, and Wooby's gig is being jealous of this.
Jealous. He keeps being
jealous. Wait, do we have to explain that too?
Don't be jealous.
For months.
If you give me my for months. For some reason. Every time Adam's phone connected on Bluetooth on his car, it would always play Jealous from Beyonce.
But I would switch it immediately to my podcast.
Yes.
So it never got to finish the song. It would do like 3 seconds of Jealous, and then it would go to my podcast. But that was every time I started my car. So it took
for
like
years.
Not years, girl. It was like a few months where it took me like every day getting in the car to work my way through the song Jealous.
So every time it would happen,
go stream self-titled.
I would just sing it. Don't be jealous.
And it took me a while to realize what was happening, that I was just like stuck on that song. I will tell you now, the song it's stuck on is The Ballad of Booth.
From Assassins.
Famously sung in the version I have, it's the Neil Patrick Harris
version.
Yeah.
That's okay. Anyway, Wooby's jealous.
Did any of the words that we just said make sense in the order that we said
them? To the
them?
normal people that isn't afflicted like us, did any of that connect? Did any of those threads connect?
I don't think my synapses are firing today. Let's talk about Woobi and his new best friend Duol. Duol.
He is taking her to the mall, bitch.
He is like, I
have adopted this child.
It is very sweet. He is an only child.
Yes.
So I think he's very excited that he has, even though she's calling him uncle, I think he's like feeling like an older brother kind of, which is very cute. So he takes her to the mall and he takes her to a toy store and is like, I'll buy you whatever toy you want.
But what toy
Now, I'm going to say this before we even talk about the toy that she wants to buy.
The toy is a gag.
Girl, if your whole thing is that you concocted this lie predicated on being like, I'm just like you, I'm poor, I wouldn't then go around and be like, I'm going to buy this toy store. Yeah. I wouldn't do it so publicly, maybe.
But the thing with him, though, is that you can tell he's had all of this money, but no reason to spend it. He's not like materialistic.
It's also not his, so he's fine with like getting rid of it because it's his dad's.
That's true.
So,
what does Duol want, Adam? I want to be a cop.
Now, in the last episode, they had told Woobi that he did not know. Suyu had told Woobi he...
So then in a voiceover, Woobi goes, oh, so she does know the truth about her dad.
Sure, because they've also set up that she's like smarter than her age.
Yeah.
So that's funny.
So he literally goes, hey, miss, I'll buy every toy gun in the store.
And no one asks questions later because they go home and she has like multiple
rifle
guns
that she's running around with,
and no one's like, Suyu's not like, how do you have all this money to buy her a gun? You met her 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. And even his dad, because Suyu's dad was like, you didn't have to do all of this, and she was like, no, I really didn't mind it. But then he was kind of like, no, you're supposed to be poor. You're
losing the plot.
Yes.
It's family dinner night. Suyu's dad gets a call on his cell phone. By the way, we have firmly placed this movie in 2008.
Yes. Nokia, bitch.
There is a Windows XP screen that is featured so prominently in this episode.
It took you back. You had a full That's a Raven.
Back to like my basement setup, which was like the big massive corner desk and this like office chair that we had gotten from like Office Depot that was like tan micro suede.
Yeah, that was big.
Huge. And you would do the like, if you pushed it one way, it would be one color.
I had a couch like that because it was cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He gets a phone call and he's like, Suyu, it's for you. And it's Miss Girl from France because he had like been on her AIM or whatever.
Basically.
Not like Chinese AIM.
QQ.
And so she was like, LOL, are you looking at me? LOL.
He did not respond.
Did not respond. So then she found his dad's number. That was weird to me. She found his dad's number. She called him at dinner, and then he just like didn't answer and hung up the phone and was like,
he was like a scam.
Yeah, unknown number. They were trying to sell me insurance. Sorry, I don't know. But it is funny because there's so many episodes, and the other shows that we've watched have not had to like grapple with like filling time.
Yes, totally. Here, they give a little something, and you don't hear it in another 2 episodes.
Because like the interesting thing is not the plot of each episode, but it's like watching their slow burn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at dinner. This gags me. Suyu's dad is having rice wine, I'm assuming.
He's having like liquor. Like it's yeah.
Like soju basically, but it's not soju. And they're having these conversations. He's talking to Mrs. Zhao.
And
Woobi
Duo
and Suyu
like,
are coming. 6 years old.
Taking shots.
Yeah.
And they're like, whoa. And did you just drink that?
She drinks like one shot. And then she's like
giggling, and then passed out.
Yeah. It's so stupid, but it was so funny. It's so like, it's like such like base humor, but it's like that's what's so funny about it is like how accessible it was. Just so goofy for them to do that, but like I don't know. It's not because like I feel like currently in comedy, I can't believe I'm having another comedy conversation. Currently in comedy, I feel like in America, it's like everything has to like
dark and witty.
Yes, for sure. The Bear is hilarious. It's a laugh riot, apparently. And so it's nice to see something that is like so low stakes and just stupid that like
a kid getting drunk accidentally.
Yeah, but like it's not a commentary on like the parents are bad people. Like there's no like excess anything. It's just like a goofy thing happens. It's like sitcom energy.
Yeah.
So Wooby spends the night.
He does. And you were another gag because Suyu like wakes up. Wooby like wakes Suyu up because he's like, have you ever liked anyone or whatever?
Yeah. And they have a very deep conversation in the middle of the night.
And Suyu sits up and he's still wearing his jeans.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And you were like,
I want to be very clear. We are saying Suyu got out of bed, that he was sleeping in
his bed,
his own bed at his own house. He was wearing jeans. It would be one thing if Wooby wore jeans,
and I think
right?
He
also was wearing jeans, but he's staying the night. Now, I think it would still be weird if you didn't like give him a pair of shorts to wear or whatever. That's very standard. But like, fine. He's wearing jeans. It's not his house. He doesn't have a change of clothes. Fine. Why? What? Suyu. This can't... I refuse to believe Chinese kids go to bed with jeans on. I refuse to believe it. I will not hear this. This does not fit with my narrative. Absolutely not. No. People are not doing this. It's one thing to even nap in jeans. Even that is like, you're pushing your luck.
You take sleeping very seriously.
Guys, sleeping is very important. You spend a third of your life doing it, and you might as well do something a third of your life extremely well. And that's why I minored in napping in college. And almost did not get a degree because
that's why you had to stay a couple months late, just a few more months at the end there.
That one, I'm going to specifically say there was a different reason my freshman year for that.
Sure.
Do you want me to go into it?
Yeah, say his name.
Just some pillow talk. Suyu knows that she had a crush on him, but he was like, but I didn't like her too. That's the conversation.
Yeah.
It assuages Wooby's fears that we're not supposed to really know that Wooby's like kind of jealous. But then they have this other conversation. It's the same conversation, but they talk about his mom and how she remarried for money and how he's like, I would never be friends with someone who had any lick of money. They're disgusting, deceitful, awful people.
Yeah.
And Wooby was like, yeah. So I wonder if that'll come back at any point. And they are officially remarried.
Yeah.
Because he says my mom married for money.
Yeah.
She left my dad to marry for money.
Yeah.
To marry up. So Suyu's dad this is why Duo had to get drunk, by the way. Duo had to get drunk so that Suyu's dad could go take her home late, but then she
Duo in her sleep calls him dad.
So he felt bad, and so he stayed.
I'll stay the night.
He doesn't even stay the full night. He stays a while. Yeah.
And then the aunties
and their gossip.
Saw him
and their
leaving.
Anthropological gossip.
See him leaving in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and they're like, oh.
And so the next morning, so you're walking to school, he overhears the aunties being like, did you see Suyu's dad getting out of Mrs. Zhao's house? Crazy that he would even do that when he's, in jail or blah, blah, blah.
Meanwhile, Wooby's dad is at his apartment.
Yes. His apartment, I guess. It's his. He pays
Right.
for it.
It's yeah. And
And he was like, you snuck out here, you left school, you moved to a new school, you're living in this apartment, and you weren't even home last night. I've been worried sick about you.
no, you haven't.
No, you weren't.
Literally,
It really is giving Ray's dad. When Ray almost like died in
From
the car
Star
crash.
Wars?
No.
Oh. Okay.
From Star Wars?
Star Wars.
The Last Jedi? Ray's dad? Who's dead? He's not even in the movies.
Well, her grandfather, spoiler alert, is Emperor Palpatine.
When Ray's dad gets him at
That's so boring. Not to relitigate that, but like, what a bore. Okay.
Yeah, because they... Miss JJ.
I feel like there would be, I genuinely feel that if more dads were like Suyu's dad, there would be like less bad vibes in the world. Because I think a lot of, not everything, right? It's a complex myriad of
But it can come
blah,
from...
blah, blah.
But
Something about paternal figures really messes with psychoses
yeah.
for people.
Especially for men, and then those men are the ones that grow up, and then it's like, well, I realize I have this power over society and culture, so let me instill it, and start a venture capital firm and start a bespoke grocery store in order to crash and burn it.
Are you saying Foxtrot coffee shops closed because
of toxic masculinity?
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a theory.
Yeah.
We're just asking questions.
Just asking questions.
Wooby's dad.
Once again, did any of those threads connect?
It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. Wooby's dad is at the apartment, right? He's doing his whole "I'm a good dad"
I'm a good
speech,
dad, whatever.
and it's a lie.
Yes.
Wooby and him get face to face.
Yes.
Wooby is like as tall as his dad.
Yeah. And then his dad almost threatens to hit him, and Wooby stops it and says, "You're not going to hurt me again anymore. You can't hurt me like you used to did before."
Yeah. So because of this, Wooby decides that it's his best bet in order to kill two birds with one stone, right? He has to. His dad now knows where he lives,
and he's cut him off. His dad officially cut him off.
His dad cut him off, and Suyu doesn't want to know anybody who has money. So in order to continue the lie, he's going to really lean in, and he's going to go method. He's going to Daniel Day-Lewis this in
fully
Lincoln.
Daniel Day-Lewis is it?
And he's like,
then I need
to move into a slum.
Yeah, he like calls, I think, an aunt or an uncle and was like, "Hey,
he's like, get me a one-room
sublet?"
tenement."
Yeah,
literally.
And he does. No heating.
No heating.
He's cold.
There's a water bowl.
You just get water from the hose, from the spigot out back.
Wooby has started bringing Suyu, because now he lives by him, to school on his bike. We'll get to that. So he goes with him to school. There's a whole scene about like what's a rhetorical question that honestly should have been cut. I gotta be real. I don't know if they were like, let's kind of pop off and give some like
some wordplay,
educational noom for the show. And I was like,
don't need it.
And then it's in episode 5. And then after school, Wooby and Suyu get back on the bike. And Wooby's like, actually, it would be so funny. It would be just like so fun. This is like very me trying to convince someone I liked
to do something stupid.
Yeah. Or no, just a way that I could. Yes. It would be so funny if I like hopped on your back. Like stuff like that. Like, pick me up. Ha 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 ha. That shit. So he's like, it would be so like quirky crazy if you sat on the handlebars and like faced me
as
while I rode the bike. Ha! And so he does. And then we get this long, extremely long, not ride, but sequence of like
it's
a
just
very
like
slow.
from one side of the school to the other.
One end of our apartment to the other.
Yeah.
And it's one slow-mo of just like the wonder and awe of Suyu. I don't know, going backwards. Like he's like so shocked as if the world is like brand new.
And the music is playing
like,
and the lyrics are on the screen. Yep.
Their faces are very close together.
Very close to each other.
Very close. And they're both so cute and they're
it's
so
supposed
smiley.
To, obviously, it's supposed to be like, look, they're
so young.
Yeah.
And it's very like, and something about bikes. Something about like coming of age stories and bikes. My God. It's so evocative.
It's the metaphor, the training wheels coming off, learning how to get on, like learning how to drive on your own too. Yeah. Duh.
Okay, speak on that, King. Yes.
Finding the balance, you know, but it's not hard.
Tandem bicycles. Yeah.
So it's like kind of, it's goofy, but like presented very sweet. Like it's like their first time really seeing each other, but they're not like looking at each other.
No.
It's like they're both laughing.
Well, Wooby is
looking at Suyu. Suyu is like laughing, and it feels like it's because Wooby says it's the first time I've seen you smile this episode.
He says in this episode, this is the first time I've seen you smile, Suyu. It's weird. It's very meta in that moment. He references the show.
And then they kind of fall apart. They like fall or whatever. Zhang Xiong sees them.
She did.
And she's like,
oh, I see.
I see.
Another one, huh?
But she's like,
So I'm sure that'll come back. We cut to a scene where Suyu's mom calls him and is like,
she looks like she has been crying all night. She's been like, I can't eat.
I can't sleep. I'm depressed
because my son won't talk to me.
Right.
But you have not tried to contact.
That's what it felt like, right?
It's like you haven't been trying to contact him until now when you were like, well, I want to transfer you to the school. I don't know.
Let's put our shoes on.
Okay.
And by that I mean let's put ourselves in her shoes.
Okay.
If I'm giving her the absolute benefit of the doubt and as much grace as humanly possible, which I still like her more than I like the dad.
Yes.
Wooby's dad.
She's definitely more sympathetic in the situation she's in than he is.
Are we supposed to infer that she, in her mind maybe, has done all this
in order to give him a better
life?
I think so.
That's the only thing I could think that would be like, but well, I guess that's why it's upsetting.
But she's not it's not connecting.
No, it's not text. I mean, that's like so much that I'm just like inferring completely on my own.
Because the way they're showing it obviously is just she's just distraught that he's ignoring her. Right?
Yeah, right. Which I mean, sure.
And also her quote unquote stepson is also like, does not want her.
He's gone.
Yeah, he left. So she tries to call him. She keeps trying to call him. He like unplugs because he recognized the number on the caller ID. So he unplugs the phone.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then she's like depressed. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. She looks like she's about, like, she's like.
It was
scary.
It was very like,
so I was like, what is she gonna do?
Yes, that was like, I was like
very scared.
Where are we going? Yeah. Where are we going here? This is just a note to myself that I want to buy Suyu's glasses.
Okay, because in episode 1 and 2 you said you didn't like those glasses in the reaction. And then our beret joie was like, well, fuck my drag, because he had the same pair.
Really? That's so funny. I didn't see that. Well, I've 180s.
Okay.
I like them now. I think it was the gold that I wasn't sold on at first.
Yeah. I think like a big glasses on you is nice.
I know, and I feel like I keep trying to buy them, but like I always end up with these that are like not actually as big as I think they're gonna be.
Because
I need to stop worrying from Zenny.
Maybe.
Is that why? He's discovered his wife like passed out trying to call Suyu, and is like, I have to help. I have to involve myself in her and her son's relationship. Yeah. I think as a step parent, listen, I'm not a step parent, but I think it's probably not the best decision you can make to like throw yourself
because
in
in his eyes
situation.
He was like, he's never met me before. When they meet, Suyu was like, oh, I know who you are. Like, it's not a secret what my mom is doing or what my mom did.
Right.
And basically his stepdad is like, you have to give her a chance, but in a very
cold, calculated
way. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not that Suyu was threatened or intimidated, but
he's held up completely on his own.
Yes.
That's what I really like about this show in juxtaposition of the other shows. Mm-hmm. In the other shows, especially like I feel like the Korean BLs we've watched, there's such like a strong male, weaker male thing. And this show really doesn't have that. Mm-mm. There's like,
it's really more about
quieter, yes, I would say, than Wooby.
Yeah, it does feel more like if you're at least a virtuous person, even though you're not the strongest person, because I think Suyu's dad is like kind of the beacon of like, he is not loud, he is not strong, but he is so virtuous that like he's the model. Yeah, you know.
He says, my life has no shortcuts like hers did.
That's reading. Honey, shade comes from reading.
And that woman that we are quoting had a dead body. That drag queen had a dead body in her closet. And that is not a metaphor, Dorothy.
And that is not a metaphor. That is
Wooby's dad left and he saw the back of his head and he was like, brother, did you tell dad where I went to school now? Oh, it's so weird.
I thought I just saw him in my school.
But maybe I saw somebody else. Love it. So they're having this conversation on the bed, and then Wooby does this whole dramatic, like, he's such a monster. I curse whoever his son is, who blah, 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 blah. He must be as much of a bitch as that guy. Da, 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 da. And then the
ceiling fan snaps off because it's connected by like one wire.
Like a string. I have no strings to hold me down to make me red.
It scratched you Wooby's foot, and he was like, I should stay here.
I can't leave my injured. Foot.
So Suyu has to what? The tending of the wound. Oh, man.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've called one out.
It's been a while since we've called one out.
It's been a while.
This all happens, right? Meanwhile, the school calls Wooby's house. Oh, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up that the parent-teacher conferences for Wooby are this week. On this day.
Is this Wooby's guardian or like parent?
Yes.
And she goes,
yes.
Yes.
Yes, of course. I am. It's very that.
Yeah.
And so now we've set up the stakes for this
she
episode.
Will be attending the parent-teacher conference as Wooby's mother, knowing that Suyu's father will be there because they're in the same class.
Right. So Suyu's dad went, and in order to look presentable for this event, he wore his wedding suit.
Wedding like suit jacket.
Now, just a question. Mm-hmm. Okay. Some things don't hold up because Suyu sees this and gets like enraged that he wears this.
Because it's like, why do you even have this? Why do you remember her?
But
Suyu's dad is like, this is the only nice thing that I have.
Right. But Suyu, this can't be your first parent. This can't be the first parent-teacher conference. This simply can't.
Especially if you're number one in the school.
That's what I'm saying. So he would have had to wear this before, unless he was just wearing other things. And then last time they were like,
okay,
you have to dress up.
Yeah,
girly.
I shouldn't be a schlub.
Yeah. So I guess maybe that could be it.
Yeah.
But like, I just thought I was like, well, okay. Anyway. So Suyu's mom oversleeps and she has to do her makeup. She has to look.
It's so funny because the housekeeper's like, ma'am, you should go. And she's like, I'll be there in a minute.
I'm still doing my face. I need 30 more minutes. She's giving Kimura Hall doing her makeup. It's going to be 8 hours. She'll have just a thin layer of lacquer on. Mm-hmm. She gets there.
At the end.
At the end, right? They've dismissed everybody. Suyu's dad
has been like the star because everyone is like,
how do you
do it? And he's like, honestly, I don't do anything. He just does everything. I come home and he's already done everything.
Yeah.
And all the moms are like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because my kid can barely pass the class.
Truly. So then the parent-teacher conference is over. Suyu's dad looks at his watch and is like, oh my God, they're going to close the lottery stand. I got to get to my lotto tickets. So he hops on his bike.
Plan.
It's not a great plan. He hops on his bike to leave and drives right by her getting out of her driven car.
Yes. And she was like,
and she sees him drive by and she's like,
oh my God.
I'm having like flashbacks.
She's like, I'm in the such deep boonies that I thought I just saw my poor ex-husband. Whoa.
Yeah. Poor. She shows up to this parent-teacher conference and she's
all
like,
the parents are like,
she literally walks in, she goes, don't fuck with me, fellas.
I'm Whoopi's mother.
And I own 51% of this high school. So stupid. I hope not a single person is watching this because the brain rot, honestly.
They've literally like, well,
let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up, girl.
So then the next day, the
classmate's
desk mate, what's his name? I don't remember his name, but his little desk mate is like, oh my God, did you hear about Wooby's mom? Centralina Gorgessa?
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Drag, honey.
And he's
the art of drag. And he was like, she's dead.
Literally. And he was like, no, she definitely came and
all of the parents.
She was a high class
society.
Lady. Yeah.
So then Suyu is like, well, did he lie to me?
And the way he takes the idea of being lied to, it doesn't bode well for when the truth will come out.
Yes.
There are going to be tears shed.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. With some very sad music, I'm sure.
Very, very much that.
So then the entire afternoon, he is just like, Now, when you said you lived nearby.
Taking like a full notepad, like a detective, like, I see. And where were you on the night of?
Yes. Yeah. He's like, you north of here, south?
What neighborhood do you live in?
What's your cross streets?
Yeah.
What are your cross streets? Oh, yeah. You can take the red line there. Okay, yeah.
Are we convincing? Is the whole thing of this that we're trying to convince people to move to Chicago? Is that the point?
And take public transportation.
So Wooby has realized not how he figured it out, which how has nobody been like, Wooby, your mom? But yeah, anyway,
because they're all like still like quote unquote afraid of him or like they
intimidated.
Leave him alone. Yeah.
So he kind of realizes that he's gonna have to like deal with the fact that the initial lie was that Suyu's dad and Wooby's dad are besties. Yeah. So he said, I called Central Casting and said, okay, I'm looking for M 35 to 45. 35 to 45.
I think that's it. I think that's the only thing he put on that
Willing
sheet.
to lie to a teen.
I think those are the only
That
three
was the
things
qualifications
that he put on that
Yeah.
ad. Mm-hmm. And Miss Diva shows up.
First of all, do you know who he looked like to me? I didn't say this in the thing.
Unky from...
No.
Who?
He looks like your Filipino chef.
Oh, Chef Tatung.
Yeah, what is his...
Simple.
That's what he looked like to me. It was so funny.
So he hires this man and he's like, I take my craft very seriously.
This is such a classic bit of like making the actor really annoying.
Making them an actor, honey.
Yeah, making the actor
An actor.
an actor.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
It is important. I mean, it's not easy to act. It's not. It's not easy to act well. Sorry.
It's not
easy. Sorry,
Let's
sorry.
be very specific. It's not easy to act well.
So if you're an actor, you are entitled to be proud of your work and what you do. Totally. Mm-hmm. But that is the stereotype that a lot of these like stock characters lean in on when you have an actor type. Mm-hmm. And this one is like a real Daniel
But it's
Day-Lewis.
so funny.
Yeah.
That's the joke of it. It's like
Because
this guy's taking it so seriously.
which makes it funny because Wooby's trying to be like, oh, yeah. Because when they invite Suyu over to prove that there is a real father.
There's a father. They live in this one little room
They live in this
together.
one little tenement room. And Wooby's like, okay, you've met him. Dad, can you leave us alone so we can talk? And he's like, how dare you talk to your father like that? I am your father.
I gave birth to you.
I gave birth to you. I work every day.
This is how you talk to Friedrich. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that. I don't know what happened.
Something about this apartment.
Something about this new apartment just makes you be like,
Because he
you
has so
have
much
got
more
to be
space
kidding
to walk than he used to.
me. Yes.
And there's weirdly, we have way more rugs, but also more space for him to walk on surfaces where he can like tip tap with his little
It's literally-
toenails.
Guys, this is what it sounds like, him walking around here
It's
when he's
ASMR.
following me.
And he is a follower. Our Friedrich is like a very classic, cannot be in a room by himself dog.
Like, I'm going to pee, girl.
Yes.
You do not need to be in here.
You don't.
He will literally just stand and be like,
Doing okay?
you in there? Okay. I'm right here.
If you need
So,
anything, sister.
If you need anything, sister.
And that's
right
my
here.
sister.
And that's my sister right there. Like, even right now, he is on the bed laying down, staring at me.
Yes.
Because he just guffawed. He heard
He's
me.
like, huh.
Fresh coming from those two.
F's.
Our dog's also a homophobe first.
Oh, we made that decision like back when we first got him that we were like, oh, he doesn't like us.
I think he doesn't like gay people.
Yeah. So there's that.
But the
that bit is
ruse-
very funny.
The ruse works for the
Ruse
time
works
being.
for now,
For the time being.
and unfortunately, the hole is dug deeper.
Yeah.
When you start hiring
You
actors,
start hiring actors to lie.
this is what I'm saying. Money can't buy you everything because it's not going to buy him a solve for this lie.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell the truth at some point,
Or it's going to bubble up. It's going to explode on everyone's faces.
no. That's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
the only solution is to tell the truth.
Because
Or it's going to be a problem and still come out anyway. The truth will out. And so he believes it.
He believes the lie.
So he was like, "Wow, some talker that
Your
Wooby's dad
dad.
is. I
Woof.
can't believe it."
Yes, and Suyu's dad's like, yes.
All the many conversations we've had together.
He's been so
Chatty.
yappy.
Yeah.
Yap is like big right now. Let me tell you about what the girls are saying right now.
Oh,
Yap.
you're gonna teach me?
Yapology.
Yes. And that's the end of the episode.
Do you have
really.
an MVP this episode?
I'm 150%
say-
giving it to the actor.
Oh. I'm going to give it to Suyu's mom.
Oh.
Because it's still so... it still seems very much like she is trying and it's just misplaced. So it does feel like she's getting a redemption. What was the last BL that I was like, I think this character is going to get a redemption?
You actually think that?
I think she's going to get a redemption.
Oh, I don't think
You
so.
think she's going to be the true antagonist?
No, I think they're both going to be the antagonist. Her and the dad. Not Suyu's dad. Wooby's dad. They are the villains of the story.
Yes.
I think it is currently set up that it's like, and they are the bad ones.
It just feels like a long stretch of a K-drama where it's like they're going to be the Act 1 villains, and then Act 2 is going to be like they have to get through life.
What if society is the villain?
Yes, I think that's what happens at the end. This is my prediction. I think it's going to be about like the found family, and something's going to happen to Duo's mom.
Yeah, you don't drop the bomb of like her dad's in jail.
Something's going to happen that it's ultimately just going to be Suyu, Wooby, and Duo. And they have to like basically
Boxcar children?
I think something where they're just going to be like, now we are a family. And we have to protect her. And like society will be like, well, you're not his parents. Something like that, I feel, is going to happen.
There's definitely something that's going to happen with like Wooby being rich and his dad getting protective.
Yes. But then I do think, I don't know, I think there is a redemption coming from Wooby's parents. Maybe not the dad, but more.
I don't think the dad is getting one. Maybe the mom could get one too. I just don't have. I don't have high hopes.
He's got to have closure on this. His mom leaving him, Suyu. Whether he's like, I rebuke you,
but I don't think,
or she like apologizes, like, and they have a tearful like apology. Maybe from.
But I think the bigger I think the show has not done any work of being like all the things that I inferred.
Yes.
I just inferred that. The show has not been like, you should feel. I don't think the show is like, you should feel bad for her. I think it's just showing like, well, her actions have now caught up to her and now she's depressed because she got herself into this real pickle. That's the energy it gives me. It gives me like the Lady Macbeth of it all, where it's like.
But it's just very specifically. I would think that if we didn't see those scenes of her like really depressed, like if they were just making it like she's really going out of her way to insert herself in the lives of these two kids.
Yeah.
But because they show her like being distraught, crying, like very Jackie Kennedy in like smoking.
In Jackie?
Yes, very Jackie.
Natalie Portman and Jackie.
Like drunk and smoking in like this empty bedroom because he won't answer her phone call.
Wearing the pink suit.
Yeah. That I was like, okay, this is very weird, showing that like, okay, he's showing us a coldness to her that I think he'll have to learn as like do unto others kind of lesson down the road. I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting. The
only thing that I saw that I could be like, well, I guess it could, whatever, with her.
Mm-hmm.
Is that she doesn't tell Wooby's dad that he went to a different school. She knows the truth, but she withheld it.
She withholds it.
That's the one thing that I was like,
she might use it against.
No. Just like if you want to start the narrative that she's like not as bad as the dad. I think that's the one where it's like, because like you could still spin the like she's depressed or whatever, just as being like that's her comeuppance of like leaving her family, because it's clearly such a thing. And it's not that the aunties, of course the aunties are just representative of just like society, like chatter, but there is a level of like, yeah, but also everybody believes that she's like a bad person because Suyu believes it.
Yes. That she left the entire family to marry.
Yeah.
Rich.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she slayed in this episode, so she's my MVP.
No, she's really good. I really like
Yes.
the actress. It is crazy she looks like she's like 30. And I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. It's awesome.
There you go. That's 5 and 6.
I love this show.
It's
I
really nice.
like this show.
It's really
It's
hard.
really well paced.
It's really hard not being able to just binge it.
And especially on Vicky, where it's just like next episode starts in 7 seconds, and you're like,
That's girl. Literally my mother.
yeah,
She will just sit on hours
in a pool
in a pool.
at a timeshare.
Name a more Filipino thing than that, girl.
A nurse on vacation in a pool at a timeshare. Just say Filipino.